This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Juta Tours operator found stabbed to death in St. Anne. A beloved Juta Tours operator was found dead with stab wounds and his feet bound in his car in a wooded section of Discovery Bay, St. Anne on Thursday. He has been identified as Carlton Miller, otherwise called the Blacks of Bel Air in Runaway Bay, St. Anne. Reports reaching the news are that residents became suspicious when they saw a Toyota Wish parked along a section of the roadway in a heavily forested area in Bridgewater, Discovery Bay about 3 p.m. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, Miller's body was found in the back seat of the car. It had multiple stab wounds and the throat was slashed. His feet were also bound. The body was taken to the morgue where a post-mortem will be conducted at a later date. The police collected several sharp implements from the scene, including a pair of scissors. Meanwhile, several hotel workers and the security guards in St. Anne have been left grief-stricken, as Miller was a popular driver and well-known at several resorts across the parish. "Him quiet man. I can't tell why them woulda do this to him. Blacks not trouble people. Him come and him run him little joke with me," said one hotel employee who asked for his identity to be withheld. "Why them never just take the vehicle and left him alone? It cut up everybody because him not deserve this," she added. The police have not yet established a motive for the killing, explaining that investigations remain at an early stage. Section of Mountain View impassable after truck overturns. A head-on collision between trucks in the vicinity of 72 Mountain View Avenue in Kingston has left sections of the area blocked. Reports are that a cement premix truck collided with another truck and overturned. The incident occurred at about midday on Friday. One of the drivers reportedly suffered a broken leg and was taken to the hospital by residents in the area. Residents have been assisting in cleaning up the spilled cement, however the road remains blocked. In the meantime, motorists are encouraged to use alternative routes. Police say mistaken identity in gang conflict behind a Trelawney triple murder. Police investigators on the scene of a triple murder in Bounty Hall, Trelawney, have concluded that it was the result of mistaken identity in an ongoing gang conflict in the parish. 2 women and a man were shot dead around 1:45 this morning and 3 others injured. The deceased are Daniel Williams, 24, otherwise called Alkaline, unemployed of Crossroad in Bounty Hall. Tashi Black, otherwise called Tash, bartender of Red Hills, Wakefield, Trelawney, and Shanelia Clark, otherwise called Suki, of Bounty Hall, Trelawney. It is reported that Williams, Black, Clark, and 3 other occupants pulled up at a house when 4 men armed with high-powered weapons opened fire on the Toyota Voxy in which they were traveling. Williams and Black died on the spot, and Clark died at hospital. The 3 other victims were admitted in serious condition. Commanding officer for Trelawney, Carlos Russell, said the police are following strong leads into the incident. "Hopefully we will hold the persons that are responsible for this crime," he said. Russell said the people involved in the shootings are not from Trelawney but have been displaced from elsewhere and have taken up residence in the parish. "We are aware of the situation and we believe that we can bring a closure to it very soon," he said. More than 600 healthcare workers infected in current COVID-19 surge. More than 600 healthcare workers have been infected with COVID-19 and had to stay away from the job in the current surge in Jamaica. This week, hospitals were forced to start operating in emergency mode amid the staff shortages. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says most of the health workers affected are doctors and nurses.
Of the 16,830 healthcare workers, 669 were out due to COVID, which is a 4% or so. Now, on the face of it, it doesn't seem much, but if you dissect it around the type of worker, the nurses who are on the front line, the doctors who are on the front line, then those averages go up. So where it really matters, or matters most, in terms of the interaction and the ongoing management of the process, is where we have the greatest impact. It's quite clear that the pressure is on and it is having an impact. I want to just thank them for their leadership, for their patience, for the fact that they are not panicking, they're trying to manage, and that is very important in these times. So I want to just assure the country that our healthcare workers are resilient and they are holding the front line, doing what they need to do, even at the risks that they are encountering.
Man shot dead at a beach in St. James. A Trelawney man, a Camry Bling Dog White, was shot dead as he sat on the fishing beach in the Lilliput section of St. James shortly after noon on Thursday. The 34-year-old, who was from Warsop in the parish, was shot several times by an armed man, according to police reports. He was pronounced dead at hospital. His killing is the fifth murder recorded in St. James since the start of the week, and one of two that happened on Thursday. Mohan Morris and Nakeem Erskine were both shot and killed on Tuesday. Siobhan Green was gunned down at his home on Wednesday, while on Thursday afternoon, up and coming artist Javel Capella Dunn was shot dead in an attack that left another man injured. Jamaica exceeds its COVID-19 bed capacity. Jamaica has exceeded its COVID-19 bed capacity, with the peak of the current wave of infections yet to be seen. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Besesa Mackenzie said on January 14 there were 686 people hospitalized with COVID-19. That number is now 828, far above the 700 beds designated for COVID-19 patients.
And you can see that we are at 100% bed occupancy for COVID beds. It would be still less than where we were at the same time. In the last peak, we would have gone up to over 150, almost 180% bed occupancy. And we can see that we are climbing still, and we're not yet at the peak. We're at 100% bed occupancy already.
At the same time, the chief medical officer said there has been an increase in the number of pregnant women being hospitalized with COVID-19. There are about 20 such people in hospital at this time.
And these are persons in late pregnancy or right around the delivery period. It's some of them in the postpartum after they have delivered period. We're seeing an increase in the number of patients with COVID at this time in this group. And this is not good, because what we have seen is that persons at this particular time in pregnancy, they tend to develop severe COVID. Over the last 2 weeks, we are seeing a climb in the number of deaths. And even though the Omicron variant is said to be a milder virus, it still causes some severe illness. And even though it is a smaller percentage of persons that overall will have a severe illness, because of the large number of cases that we are seeing, the absolute numbers of severe illness is going to be high and will result in deaths. And also remember that in Jamaica, we probably do still have a Delta variant that is circulating, and so that also can lead to severe illness and deaths.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has revealed that some hospitals have begun creating additional space because of the high COVID-19 admissions.
Currently, 14 hospitals are in the red alert zone of its COVID-19 isolation capacity. Of this number, 9 hospitals, Savannah Lamar, Port Maria, St. Anne's Bay, Mandeville Regional, Maypen, Lionel Town, University Hospital, and Spanish Town hospitals have surpassed their 100% capacity. All that means is that we have excess demands and have had to make provisions, sometimes in unusual places, corner off a section of A&E in a particular passageway, remove some of the other non-COVID patients or wards and transfer to COVID areas in order to accommodate the more than 100%. So it places a lot of stress on the system. The remainder are over 85% capacity housing COVID patients. The positivity rate, 7-day average 49, almost 50%, very, very high, 10 times what is acceptable. The reproductive rate also very high, and the occupancy, bed occupancy at high alert, if you will, extremely high. And our vaccination level just inching up, but much too slow.
Woman gunned down at a plaza in Spanish Town. Armed assailants gunned down a woman at her business establishment at Royal Plaza on St. John's Road in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Friday. The information is sketchy at this time, but the woman appears to be in her 20s. The attack took place this morning. It doesn't appear it was a robbery, it is a possible hit. We are pursuing leads into the murder, Superintendent Howard Chambers, head of the St. Catherine North Division, said. The police are yet to establish her identity. Suspect in custody following fatal stabbing in St. Anne. A man is in custody following a fatal stabbing in Steertown, St. Anne on Thursday evening. The deceased has been identified as a 42-year-old Rohan Wilson, a contractor of Steertown. It's reported that the suspect and Mr. Wilson got into an altercation about 6:30 p.m. The fight led to Mr. Wilson being stabbed in the neck and hand. He died at hospital. The suspect was picked up in Ocherias on Thursday night. Akompong's Curry left out as the Prime Minister meets with Maroon chiefs. Akompong Maroon Chief Richard Curry was today left out of a meeting among Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Maroon colonels. The meeting comprised Colonels Lloyd Latibodere of the Scots Hall Maroons, Wally Sterling of the Moortown Maroons, and Marcia Douglas of the Charlestown Maroons. The Office of the Prime Minister released a statement saying Culture Minister Olivia Grange and the Minister without a portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Robert Nesta Morgan, also attended the meeting. The statement did not say why Curry was not invited. However, it said after a productive discussion, it was agreed that future meetings will be convened. This morning, Curry went live on Instagram, lamenting that the colonels made an about turn to meet with Holness without him. The Akompong chief also pleaded with the government for dialogue. We are not here to create a divide. We are not trying to create a threat to the state. We are not trying to overthrow anybody, he said. According to Curry, in recent times, the Maroons have found themselves in a conundrum with a lack of infrastructure. Curry, who was elected head of the St. Elizabeth-based Akompong Town Maroons in March last year, has been sparring with the government over the 1738 treaty the Maroons signed with the British government. On January 9, Prime Minister Andrew Holness dismissed the rhetoric of the Akompong Maroons that they are a sovereign people. Under my leadership, not 1 inch of Jamaica will come under any other sovereign authority, Holness charged. This morning, Curry said he remains resolved to work with the government to bring a resolution to the challenges. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.